ship is amazing, Spock. I mean, all the freshest ingredients. If I stay on board the Griffin, I can be free of my fate. I don't have to be the captain anymore. I can be the head chef.
This really fun, chilling episode that the three of you are really right in the middle of. Just talk about filming that episode and like exploring each of your characters' like fears and everything.
When I first read the episode, I was like, wow, this? Because it's so dark. It almost, it really pushes the boundaries of, I think, what Trek can be. And I think they did such an amazing job with it. But like, what did you guys think when you first read that episode? Didn't it seem kind of nuts?
I loved it. It reminded me a little bit of, in obviously a very different genre, but do you remember the episode where Lon and I get transported to Earth, and it's a standalone.
Oh.
Like it felt like the once upon, oh, I forget what the name of what was it? Tomorrow.
Once on a time.
Sorry,
Oh.
no, tomorrow, something else. It felt like this was the trio. Like I felt like it was our kind of like version of that, where we were in a complete, it just felt very singular and separate from the other episodes. And I felt like this was all going to be, so much of it was going to be contingent upon the environment feeling like the environment is a character, the ship is a character, the noises, the what you don't see. It's like classic horror. It's like the things you don't see and the things the audience doesn't know and the characters don't know are the things that are the scariest, because your imagination is obviously much more powerful than anything you can see on screen. So a lot of it was sort of off camera, and I knew that we had to sort of approach it that way.
Yeah, and it took us a little while to get into the rhythm of it because it was so different to anything we've done. So there's our usual Trek kind of style of walking even, like how do we walk down a corridor when we're in Strange New Worlds on the Enterprise? It was completely different for this horror movie because we had to build the tension and the suspense and everything. And then there was all the fear and constantly having to, build up that level of emotion for all of us, all day for 12, 14 hours was a challenge.
Yeah, normally the response to sort of peril is like action and hope, and we had to spend a lot of time in dread and fear, and so it felt very unusual. And that's part of what makes it a horror episode, is that these characters that are normally so filled with confidence and action kind of are stuck. They're stuck in this dreadful scenario. So that was really an interesting thing to explore.
Just the horror episode that makes me want a Division 12 spin-off, because Star Trek meets the X-Files would just be fun. Talk about playing the hallucination version of Pike and Spock's nightmare experience, because that was quite the disturbing twist on Pike cooking with him chopping off his own fingers.
Yeah, that was a wild scene to shoot, because those prosthetic fingers they don't just look real to the audience, they looked real to me when I shot it. So when I cut them off, see, it's happening right now. I didn't have to act. It's just, yeah.
And then like playing that version of Pike, that like maniacal version of him. What was that?
That's one of those things, playing that level of mania that you show up on the day and you go, okay, I got to figure out how to make this happen. And then you just play. And it was a process of that.
Because we got another Division 12 reference, which love those. And so I have to ask, is a spinoff possible? And what do you like about possibly exploring that, or at least bringing it up?
You would really have to ask Paramount. As far as I know, there are no Division 12 series on the boards, but I think that no one would be happier than Robbie Thompson and us.
I think the thing that we really tried to do for every episode is treat it as its own different universe. You know what I mean? Like every episode, you want to create the idea of space being bigger than you, wider, different, full of things that you did not see before. That's the whole idea of Strange Worlds. And so if every episode leads you to thinking that that could be a spin-off, then we have done our jobs.
I mean, Star Trek and the X-Files, that would be
Right.
so fun.
I want to see that show.